This is the Will Clayton Church of Christ in Texas. This is the Wednesday night Bible study. Our date is December 22nd, 2020. And our topic is continuing again, picking up on our series, The Kings of Israel and Judah. The Kings of Israel and Judah. We'll be using 1 Kings chapter 22. And our subtopic is, to gain spiritual victory, God must be with you. To gain spiritual victory, God must be with you. Now, this particular king... I'm sorry?
You said December is January.
Thank God for you having me. God bless you. God bless you. I'm still behind. January 22nd, 2020. Amen. Thank you, sister. God bless you. That's amazing. Look, you are looking right at it, And 2 Kings chapter number, forgive me, 1 Kings chapter 22. 1 Kings, and I had some coffee just now. I'm still not woke. Been up all day. 1 Kings chapter 22. Now this story deals with Ahab and his ungodly practices. But this is going to be Ahab's end. The problem is, before the devil takes him out, and with God's approval, he is going to suck in like a vacuum cleaner Jehoshaphat, a righteous king of Judah. And so this should be an enriching lesson for all of us. I hope and pray that you and I will both grow thereby, and those that are listening around the world. Once again, we're going to 1 Kings 22. I'm going to start at verse 1. Let me do as we have done with this particular series of expository. We're going to go line by line. It says in verse 1, and they continued 3 years without war between Syria and Israel. And it came to pass in the 3rd year that Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, came down to the king of Israel. And you see right here, something's wrong with this picture, because God is not with these 10 tribes. And he does not want Judah and Israel intermingling together. And so what he has done is, he has drawn a demarcation, a line to separate these two, to let them know it's not proper to join in forces with them, because their kings are evil. And he still, though, has people trying to work with them. Sometimes he may even send a prophet from Judah to Israel to help them out. And so now we have this king taking upon himself, without counseling any of the prophets, to do this bad act. It says in verse 3, and the king of Israel said unto his servants, know ye that Ramoth Gilead is ours. So Ramoth Gilead has been taken by Syria, and so he wants it back. And we be still and take it not out of the hand of the king of Syria. And he said unto Jehoshaphat, wilt thou go with me to battle to Ramoth Gilead? And Jehoshaphat said to the king of Israel, I am as thou art, my people as thy people, and my horse as thy horses. This is foolishness, and like I said, he should not have said such a thing. So what we want to do is point out that be careful who you partner with. Make sure that God is with them. This is the warning that we must give to all the people of the earth, especially the saints of God. Because, brethren, you can really get yourself into a lot of foolishness, fooling around with the devil's children, because they are bloodthirsty and wicked and evil, just as he is. And so therefore, let us look, if you will, at verse number 5. And Jehoshaphat said unto the king of Israel, now he does have some wisdom he's still holding on to. Inquire, I pray thee, at the word of the Lord today. Now look at what he's doing. Look at the beauty of this. He doesn't inquire of the Lord, should I go and even intermingle with Ahab? But now he's ready to get in the battle. So he knows, okay, there'll be bloodletting. Okay, so let's ask God if it's okay. But remember now, he's not in Judah. And there's no prophet there standing before him that is righteous. And so therefore, he says here, remember Ahab is torn from the floor. He and Jezebel are burning the town down in the daylight with spiritual sins. And so the king of Israel gathered prophets together. Now this is his prophets, about 400 men, and said unto them, shall I go against Ramoth Gilead to battle, or shall I forbear? And they said, go, for the Lord shall deliver into the hand of the king. Okay, now remember, these are crooked people that this man is inquiring of. And so verse number 7 says, and Jehoshaphat said, is there not here a prophet of the Lord, besides that we might inquire of him? Now listen what he says. And y'all know it. Is there not here a prophet of the Lord? You know what? Something's wrong with Jehoshaphat. So he says, now, you know this is not the right folks that just said go up. So you want a prophet of the Lord now. Because you even recognize these are false people. This is like being affiliated with people in denominational church, or really, to make the application proper, let me readjust that. Saints of God have gone bad. You know their reputation of saying anything, doing anything. So now you're going to ask, is there any faithful brothers who can counsel us on this? Which is odd he would say that. Look at verse 8. And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, there is yet one man, Micaiah, the son of Imlah, by whom we may inquire the Lord. But I hate him, for he doth not prophesy good concerning me, but evil. And Jehoshaphat said, did not the king say so? I want to make another point. When someone tells you, is it any other brother who, faithful, who have been doing things right, that you know of, that according to the way we do, where the righteous dwell. And he go, yeah, it's one guy, but I hate him. Well, why is that? Because he never says anything good about me on leave. You know what you should go? What is he saying about you? See, that's a beautiful question. As I might say, my grandma really don't like me. She don't approve of me. She's always knocking me and being negative about me and my life and what I've become. Well, what is grandma saying? She said I shouldn't be shacking with Tommy. See, well then, yeah, she right. See, grandma is right. See, and this is what we don't do. We just go, oh, baby, don't say that. The Lord is going to support those he loves. Man, you need to start asking some questions to find out what's going on. This is ridiculous that people try to act this way. Saints reach a point in their life where we get so out of tune. Jehoshaphat is out of tune with righteousness now because he's in an environment that's unrighteous. So he's forgetting how to function, because this is a great king that's going bad before our eyes. And sometimes you may be talking to a saint. You know how out of tune saints are? Do you know how many saints do not know that there's a real Bible for free that you can have in your phone? Now y'all looking at me odd. I'm telling you, I've witnessed it. I've had saints say, go get a real Bible. I say, this is a real Bible. And I'll tell them, I'm not going to get nothing. You want to talk to me? I'm reading from the phone. And so, I say, okay. Here's the real Bible. You hold it. I'm going to read from this and show you the real Bible in here. You know why they're not in tune? Because I want you to make sure you understand me, that's a carnal move. If I don't have a King James paperback before me, that's a carnal move. You know why it's carnal? Because, brethren, we have technology. So I asked the individual one time, I said, if your name was in this phone, would it be really you? Of course, they still didn't want to acknowledge that the Bible is in the phone. And see, so what do we have here? We have a mentality that will also gravitate into things like you can only worship in a church house. And you can't worship in a hospital. You can't worship at a nursing home. See, that was developed because it's a church house. Got to be the church house. Two or more gathered together, and my name means for prayer. But see, I didn't see nothing about no for prayer. All I saw is I'm in the midst. And then he says, in the midst of the congregation, I was singing. And you got brethren don't even believe that when it says in the midst of the congregation. The Lord, when all the congregations are gathered, is in the midst. You know why they don't believe he's in the midst? Because they do not believe he's really the image of God and that he can be in every building at the same time. See, there's always a spiritual move, spiritual carnal shift. So, and see, that's why when you come up with something spiritual, they're spearheaded because they're not. They're in the building, but they're not spiritual. And I'm going to tell you something, saints. I'd like to think they're going to go to heaven. But if I thought they would, then I'd be like that. Because that'd be so convenient. Got to have a paper Bible. Got to have a church building, and make life so convenient, Got to wear a suit to church. Sunday best, like that, Don't come to church with no socks on, baby. That's not right, Stuff like that. So I'm saying, what happens is that gravitates into sin. Because carnality is a sin that keeps a wall between you and the Lord. And so therefore, we see that part. So now, we understand that Jehoshaphat is not spiritual at this point. And the man just said that God don't say anything good about me, which means something's wrong with you. Or either something's wrong with Micaiah. So why should we hear him if he's nothing but a negative, mud-slinging crook? Because Jehoshaphat is caught between two worlds of understanding spirituality and carnality. He's going to call for Micaiah, but the guy says, and literally, he's no good. That's what he said. Micaiah's just no good. And so, he says, don't let the king say so. Which is a ridiculous response. So look at verse 9. Then the king, we're in 1 Kings 22 and verse 9. Then the king of Israel called an officer and said, hasten hither Micaiah, the son of Imlah. And the king of Israel and Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, sat each on his throne, having put on their robes in a void place in the entrance of the gate of Samaria, and all the prophets prophesied before them. And then he says, and Zedekiah the son of Chenaanah made him horns of iron. And he said, thus saith the Lord, with these shalt thou push the Syrians until thou consume them. Now this guy, Chenaanah, oh man, he is on it for as faking stuff. See, because that's what a lot of prophets do. They take something and wrap around their hand and say, whoever is wrapped in this manner shall be slain by the Syrians or something like that. Okay, so he gets some iron and makes some horn, like horn. Say, like this horns of iron. You will drop on. Whoa, that sounds like that came from God. Yeah, but see, God is not with none of these people here on this end. He's trying to reach them. He's sending prophets to them, but he's not with them. And so verse 12, and the prophets prophesied so, saying, go up to Ramoth Gilead and prosper, for the Lord shall deliver it into the king's hand. And the messenger that was going to call Micaiah spake unto him, so he not said, see, the Bible is like a movie, a reel showing past events, but like a documentary. You should love this book. I literally, and God knows, here's the witness, love to read the Bible. You see the scenes unfold. Sometimes things get so you just knock you back. You go, oh, man, look at that again. That's awesome. Because it switches scenes to actually putting you into the room with Micaiah and the messenger. And he says, he's speaking of saying, behold, now the words of the Lord, now the words of the prophets declare good unto the king with one mouth. And he comes to them, in such an honorable way. Let that word, I pray thee, be like the word of one of them, and speak that which is good. See, this guy wants peace. Doesn't he sound like a winner? He is a loser. Put the L on your head when you look at him. Because he just wants an answer for peace. Brethren, don't ever give an answer to contradict God to make peace in any situation on the earth. Just don't do it. You will lose your position with the Lord. And Micaiah has since said, so he said, as the Lord liveth, what the Lord said unto me, that will I speak. So he came to the king, and the king said unto Micaiah, shall we go against Ramoth Gilead to battle, or shall we forbear? And he answered, go and prosper, for the Lord shall deliver into the hand of the king. Now watch what he does. Now watch what is he playing folly? No. What he's doing is he's giving an answer. Now I want you to understand why. Because the Lord wants him to say this. We're going to find out why later. The Lord wants him to say, go ahead, you're going to win, so he can get him killed. God wants him dead. Micaiah is actually answering exactly what God wants him to believe. Now watch, we're going to validate. Watch this. Verse 16, the king said, now look, Ahab knows that he is so evil that Micaiah would never say anything in his favor. But Micaiah just said, go. Now Jehoshaphat said that. So Jehoshaphat should be like 2 thumbs up. Let's roll with it. We good to go now. Because this is the guy that always says something bad about you. But he's now said something good. But look, saints, Micaiah is so honorable that Ahab has just told you all, I'm not with God. We going to go whoop them because of our strength. And you, my boy, you're going to bring your arm. That's how we're going to win. He's literally telling you, you know, Micaiah not going to say nothing good anyway. He hasn't said we're going to win by God's hand. He has not even mentioned God. He just said God. The Lord has said we're going up. So he said, well, the Lord has said we're going up. But Micaiah is really with God. No, never say nothing good about me. Why would he do it now? So look what he says in verse 16. And the king said unto him, how many times shall I adjure thee that thou tell me nothing but that which is true in the name of the Lord? Why would he say that? Because he knows. I know you with God, and you don't say nothing good about me. But the problem is he says, tell me what the Lord says. Saints, you really got to get this. I'm telling you, this is a very, very serious. Why he said on Wednesday? Because y'all holy too. Not just the ones come on Sunday. Hit the door on Wednesday, get holy information too. Deep holy information. This guy's telling you I'm a crook. And I'm going to win because I said I'm going to win. All I know, I got Jehoshaphat. He got a nice army. We're fixing to handle it. We're going to take it because I believe in me. The team me, Ahab. Because he's got a true prophet saying go up. So it should be thumbs up. You got some wicked prophet that your boys saying go up. So you know, why would he side with them? Why would he do that? So he said, when you going to tell me? So he said, I saw all Israel scattered upon the hills as sheep that have not a shepherd. And the Lord said, these have no master. Let them return every man to his house in peace. Why would the Lord even say that? Because the Lord knows these still my sheep. Their master's dead. He's crooked. Y'all go back home. We're going to try to work with y'all and help you guys out later with prophets and stuff. What note are you trying to make now, Ozan? Obey the voice of God's man when warned according to the scriptures. When you are warned. Jehoshaphat has now heard something odd. He said something good about him, but Ahab is denying that this is of the Lord. And then when the man say y'all gonna all die, Jehoshaphat has been in evil communication. He's corrupted, saints. He's like David. He think it's okay to go take Bathsheba. This is you and me, brethren. This is you and me every time you mess up in your life in a sin. I'm not talking about no mistake, paying bills, buying groceries. I'm talking about sin. Sin. When you sin, you have not listened to the teacher in the book. You haven't listened. Although the answer's been given. You're so desirous to do this thing instead of truth. Instead of what is right. What God will honor. This is bad. Look at, if you will, Hebrews 7. It's no mystery, brethren, why we fall. It's not no head scratch. Forgive me, Hebrews 13:7. Hebrews 13:7. Hebrews 13:7. Remember them which have the rule over you, who have spoken unto you the word of God, whose faith follow, considering the end of their conversation, the end of their life. How has their life turned out? How has their life turned out if they've died? Those that were leading in the congregation, you've put them in the grave. How's their life look? How's their life? How's the ones that are alive? How's their life look? Listen to what they're saying. Verse 17. Obey them that have the rule over you, and submit yourselves, for they watch for your souls, as they that must give account. So they're not just watching because, it's on you if something go bad. They're watching because it's on them if something go bad. That they may do it with joy. What will be the problem they don't do it with joy and not with grief? When you do something with grief, do you really want to do it? Think about it. If you do something with grief, do you really want to do it? And we got to move those barrels? Man, it won't be no big thing if one of them flip over, huh? Because you don't want to do it anyway. Stupid barrel kickers, you don't want to do it anyway. If you got to do the work of the Lord to watch for the souls of the saints with grief, you may just go, man, forget, man, let him go to hell. Now I'm tired of messing with him anyway. That's how it'll be. And guess what? I want to share something with you. You will go there because he's been saying, do this thing, and now he's tired. So you get short, a sandwich with one piece of bread instead of two. God not going to fix it because he said, well, you wasn't eating what they gave you anyway. You was throwing both pieces of bread out and eating the meat on it for some reason. So why are you whining about one piece? So he let you fall. He says, why is it like this? It is unprofitable for you. See, that means you won't profit. He didn't say it is unprofitable for him. Unprofitable for you. Once the man is giving an account, no man, I've been trying to help, man, they just not listening. They just start doing less to help because they don't want to hear. You say something, okay, that's enough of that. Just pray about it now in your business, because tired of wrestling. So we have to understand. Let's go back to 1 Kings chapter 22. Micaiah has the rule over them. Why? He's a man of God. He's got the iron rod. When he speaks, he busts up everything. Jehoshaphat should have listened. And so what happens next? Okay. Now let's look at verse 18. And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, did I not tell thee that he would prophesy no good concerning me but evil? See, now it's time to go, well, hold up, king. First he said good. Why did he say good at first? What's going on here? See, he should be going something not right here. You the one to ask for the holy man. He go to one holy man on the team. And so he says, verse 19, and he said, hear thou therefore the word of the Lord. Now he's going to break it down. Why he told him you're going to go up and win. Why did he lie to him the first? Would he have corrected it if he hadn't asked again? Now you're going to find out why. He said, hear thou therefore the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting on his throne, and all the hosts of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left. So the Lord shows Jehoshaphat an image of a point in heaven where he is sitting there. And all the hosts of heaven are called on the right and left. And the Lord said, who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? The Lord has a hit out on Ahab. He is risen to the top 10 list of people he wants to kill. And he's going to take care of it. He's going to let the devil have his way, but they have at the hands of an enemy. Because Syria is definitely not the Lord's army. And we have to understand, the Lord talks about this. He'll send a strong delusion. Make us think it's all good for us. And one said on this matter, another said on that matter. So the spirits kept coming up. All the hosts of heaven. Several of them came up saying, we do this, we're going to do that. And there came forth the spirit and stood before the Lord and said, I'll persuade him. And the Lord said unto him, wherewith? He said, I will go forth and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said, thou shalt persuade him and prevail. Also, go forth and do so. Because we want him dead. Now listen, now you see why Micaiah says, go up, you'll win. It's part of the plan. I already seen the vision. I'm supposed to tell you that. Now I remember one time, which I have to correct, and I'm correcting it again every time I cross this, in case you run across that particular message. At one time, I said, well, this could be the devil, one of his spirits that came up like one of his angels, like he came up for the sons of God. But I have to retract that. You know why? Because it didn't say that. See, it didn't say that this spirit was of the devil. Like the devil came to Job. It says the devil came at the gathering of the sons of God, and he had a case they want to bring up about Job. They could take him out. And so therefore, this is actually one of the hosts of heaven, who the Lord says, okay, yeah, you go and tell him he's going to win. And you will say, oh, did God tell him go lie? Did God tell him go lie? Let me tell you something, saints. It's something you're going to have to always remember. When the Lord say, I will send you strong delusion. Okay, now you understand what's doing this. Do the Lord lie? No. No, he's not a liar. The grace of God covers a person saying something that's wrong to get a killer. And I'm telling you, that's the way it's going to be forever. Because is the Lord lying? No. He's setting you up. He said, go. Because that's what you want to do. You want to go do something, but you don't want to do it with me. You want to go do something, but you haven't been working right. You and your crooked wife Jezebel. You want to go do something, but you and your crooked prophets have been lying on me. Talking about Baal. You want to do something, now you done sucked in my one good boy I got over here in Judah, and you got him on your team. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to set you up to get you killed, because you think you're going to go in here and win this battle without my help? See, that's the conversation the Lord is having. Because the topic is this. What is the topic? To gain spiritual victory, God must be with you. I hope none of us think that we're going to gain spiritual victory separate apart from the Lord, and think he's not going to set us up and make us think that we are about to get that victory. You will get laid out like the boxer knocked the guy out the other day.
I was going to ask, was this lion spirit, was it an angel of God from heaven or one of Satan's angels?
Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah, see, it doesn't say it. I remember saying that before, but it doesn't say that. What it says is the host of heaven was there. See, and it did. And see, so by saying the host of heaven was there, it doesn't identify, and one of Satan's angels came, or an evil angel came. It doesn't even say an evil spirit. It just says several of them said, we're going to do this. There's still a host of heaven in the number. So the context hasn't changed. The context changed in Job chapter 1 and Job chapter 2. That's why I had to change that before when I taught that before. But I want every time I come across the lesson, I'll re-mention it again, because I don't know who has heard that information. I can't even literally remember where I was at when it was said, but I do know it existed. And the idea is that if an individual continues to follow and listen to what we teach, you will learn. The context says the host of heaven. Satan is not one of the hosts of heaven. In Job, it says the sons of God came to present themselves for the law, which Satan is considered as the son of God, because he is a created being, and the angels are referred to as sons of God, and so are you and I. But it says, and Satan came also. Conjunction and a different being. So this doesn't identify different beings, just as Micaiah is not an evil prophet like they are, but he does lie and say that they're going to win.
Is this a case where these angels went inside of these false prophets? In other words,
yes, he says that's a good one, my brother.
So because I asked that because I've never heard of one of God's angels from heaven going inside of a person. You know what I mean? That is already alive. I usually hear that in the scriptures that a demonic angel will go inside of a person instead of an angel from heaven.
That's a good point. He says the lying spirit, he said, I'll be a lying spirit in them. And so what he's going to actually do is give them the information, because he's not going to, it doesn't say he's going to go on. So I'm going to be a lying spirit in them, because his spirit is going to be the information. See, they're getting information. Because they already said some things. And somebody say, well, what do you mean they're getting information? A man doesn't say a thing unless he gathers information. See, our minds cannot create existence. We can't create existence. Is here. You and I exist. Jeroboam makes up in his own mind to create a calf. That's what he does. That's what he does. And he creates some dates in his own mind. But the idea is that Jeroboam has also known, I've seen gold calves before. And I know about dates. I know what dates they worship. I'm picking other dates. But a human being cannot create a spiritual environment and know the future thing. This person knows Ahab is going to lose. He knows that because he is one of the hosts. Now let's look at the text again. That's what we want to do. We want to make sure this one, because Brother Henry and we had a good message on the radio show. One thing is context. You cannot add or take away from context. So let's go back up and read. Before I do, Sister Rena, you had your hand up twice. Let me get you before I go to this point again to show where the context begins.
Yeah, it was just going back to verse 19. It said the host was there on the left and the right.
Yes.
God always separates the wheat from the tare. Now, I'm not saying the ones on the left was bad or evil, because they're still the host of heaven.
Yes.
We can't infer or we can't assume or put words there that's not there.
Yes.
Because the Spirit said he will go and be a lying spirit. He could have came from the right, which one of the good could have been the archangel. We don't know. We can't assume. We can't predict. But I'm just saying, God uses whomever he wills to get his will done.
That's true.
And,
that's a good point.
And you know, it tells us there are angels among us.
Right.
Like the people on South Road, you know what else? You helping them. You helping at least your brethren.
Right.
So we can't just assume because somebody is a certain way.
Yes,
God
exactly.
using them to bring to us
Yeah.
the right frame of mind or his will being carried out.
Exactly. Good point. Because see, the context starts off with the setting. It's in heaven.
Right.
Yeah, it's in heaven. It's not in hell. And if someone says, well, maybe the ones to the left are bad, well, we can't use left and right because the lady asks, put my son on left and right. The Lord say that's not my position to give. So was one of them going to be evil? No, they both are going to be good. So you can't, you see, so the left and right theory won't work. But the context tells us clearly who's here and the setting. And until you hear, and Satan came also. See, or the devil's angel. See, you can't make this guy bad because Micaiah tells a bold-faced lie. Because he already has saw the vision. And he already knows why the prophets, remember, before Micaiah comes, the guy tells him, hey, can you say that he's going to win? Micaiah already know. What does he say? I'm going to say what the Lord told me. The Lord told Micaiah to say it. See, that's how we know it isn't a bad spirit. And see, my mistake when I taught this lesson years ago was I just assumed because it said lying that he would be a lying spirit. That's what he's doing. He's doing exactly what Micaiah is doing. Micaiah is a lie. Micaiah is a spirit. Because 1 John 4 says many spirits have gone out. He's not talking about angels. He's talking about humans. So we are called a spirit. We are a spirit. We're a spirit in a fleshly body, made lower than the spirits that don't have a fleshly body, but can assume a fleshly body. The people that came to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, they were angels to the core, but they came up and ate food like men. So an angel can go into a body. But the idea is he says, I'm going to be a lying spirit. I'm going to influence them to lie. So when Micaiah comes, all he does is say exactly what the Lord told him. You will win. But Ahab is such a crook, as we're telling you. He knows God is never with me. This is God's number one guy. Why is he saying I'm going to win? Won't you tell me what the Lord said? Why? See, you got to stop and say, why would he do that? Because he's not with God. He knows those prophets that are saying God is going to do it. He knows we're going to win. It's not by God. When Ahab was told he was going to win by a true prophet in another battle, he was told the army will win. He said, who will deliver? He's so evil, he knows it's not going to be me. Who will deliver? He said, you. Now, if your army going to win, why would you say, who's going to deliver? Because you know, God's not with me. I'm not with him. We not together. He's going to reach a point where he's going to get remorseful and be sad. But for a short period. But right now, we have the thing that we struggle with in life is accepting, brethren, everybody is not a follower to evil. There are leaders of evil. everybody's not a leader to righteousness. They are a follower to righteousness. You have to understand, just as there's captains in Satan and God's army, there's captains in Satan's army. So let's look at the context one more time and see how is it drawn up. Is there a notation that says this person is not of the host of heaven? Because in Job chapter 1, it denotes, because Satan is not of the host of heaven. And Satan came also. So what it says here is that 1 Kings 22 and verse number 19. And he said, hear thou therefore the word of the Lord. Now he's going to tell him what he saw. I saw the Lord sitting on his throne. That's heaven. That's not earth. And all the host of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left. Satan is no longer going to consider a host of heaven because he's been cast out. He's not of heaven anymore. He's of hell. And the Lord said, and his angels, who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one said on this matter, and another said on that matter. Now, see, it's still a host of heaven. And there came forth the Spirit, and stood before the Lord, and said, I'll persuade. Well, what are the other hosts of heaven? What are they? Men? No. Hosts of heaven is all spirits.
Right.
Jesus is a spirit. Jesus is called a ministering spirit. In Hebrews 1, it says, they're all ministering spirits, including Jesus. He said, but which did he say to him, thou art my beloved son? There's only one ministering spirit he said that to, Christ. And see, the thing is, when we hear the word spirit, it doesn't mean anything other than a person, spirit, and not of flesh. That's all it means. It could be an angel, it could be a cherubim, it could be a seraphim, it could be the beast that took their crown, it could be any of the host of heaven. And so the idea is that, so now we look at that and he says, and the Lord said unto him, wherewith? And he said, I will go forth and I will be a lying spirit. See, that's the key word. I will be a lying spirit, not I am a lying spirit. And see, that's another point that I missed when I first brought this up. See, he says, I will be a lying. That means I'm going to act this way. That's what he's saying. I will be a lying spirit. That is future tense. I'm going to go down there. So when Micaiah comes on the scene, he's already been told by the messenger that came and get him. They all been saying he's going to win. And he I'm going to say what the Lord told me to say. So that would make him a liar. I mean, a liar like I lied. I'm playing around. No, he is telling the truth. The Lord told me you will win. That's the story the Lord wants told. Brother Frias, hand it up. Oh, goodness. There we go. Still live.
I wanted to, just to get another viewpoint, I wanted to go to Job.
All right.
Job chapter 1 verse 6. Where it says, now there was a day when the sons of God,
Job 1:6.
Job 1:6, the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them. And so it mentions that Satan also came among them,
Right.
to present himself as well. And the Lord said to Satan, whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And so here it mentions Satan with the sons of God presenting themselves. Also in 2 Kings 23:5, he says, and he put down the idolatrous priests whom the kings of Judah had ordained to burn incense in the high places in the cities of Judah and in the places round about Jerusalem. Them also that burnt incense unto Baal, to the sun, and to the moon, and to the planets, and to all the host of heaven. And so right there is mentioning concerning the bad things that they were doing. They were burning incense to Baal, the moon, the planets. They had these false gods, and then it mentions the host of heaven. So it gives another viewpoint of what host of heaven means.
Right.
Because in
that's a good point.
it's multiple, and it's mentioned multiple times that it's also in a bad light. It says in 2 Kings 17:6, and they left all the commandments of the Lord their God, and made them molten images, even 2 calves, and made a grove, and worshipped all the hosts of heaven, and served Baal. And so host of heaven is mentioned. It can be mentioned in a good light or in a bad light.
Yeah, good point. That's excellent, my brother. God bless. This is a good discussion. God bless. That's right. So the host of heaven can also mean stars. It can also mean beings. It can also mean that they are worshiping those beings, but not authorized. But no man can see an angel, so he would not know which angel to worship unless he knew of an angel's name mentioned in the Old Testament, because he's not going to be able to see an angel in his spirit form. He may have shown himself, but he won't be able to say, okay, like, worship me like that. Because we see when John attempted to do that, that his was honorable, but it was rejected twice, where he says, you can't do that to me, in so many words. I'm a fellow laborer, I'm a fellow servant, I'm a fellow worker. I'm not in a position where you can worship me. And so we understand that the thing that really enhances is that Micaiah lies. And we know he's not false. We know he's not of Satan. And we know he's not possessed. So he tells a lie, and he was not going to correct it. And this is why we have to teach right. He wasn't going to correct it until the man said, how many times will I ask you? Because once he answered, he was through.
Can you say he's telling a lie when he's doing what God told him?
No, I'm saying he wouldn't lie. He's doing what God told him.
Yeah, he doing.
I'm saying he wouldn't lie. He wouldn't go, you going to win and then lie to him on his own. Because he already told the messenger. See, this is the thing, is the consistency is, I told the messenger, I'm going to say what God told me. Yeah. Now we see why he says he's going to win. It shocks Ahab. Because Ahab know the Lord. Ahab is telling him, the Lord wouldn't tell you that. Mm-hmm. See, you got to understand, Ahab knows his prophets, they belong to him. They don't work with the Lord. That's what he's trying to fool Jehoshaphat. Right. Because Jehoshaphat is the one who, this guy's ready to go to battle. He does not ask for any inquiry. Jehoshaphat says, can you answer the prophets? Mm-hmm. Then Jehoshaphat knows those prophets are crooked, because he knows the rumor. And he says, is there a prophet of the Lord that will be able to respond? That's why he gets Micaiah. So those are the previous verse. Go ahead.
No, my thought was always with these two, with Ahab and Micaiah, was because they have a history together. Ahab and Micaiah have a history. Ahab has in the past communicated with him and has always mentioned bad toward him.
Right.
And so whenever I read this, I always thought that Micaiah, because they know each other, they know what he's going to say, that he was being sarcastic.
Right.
And then once he gave the answer, then he told the truth after. So that's how I always seen it, as they were talking to each other. But one thing that is catching my attention is verse 20. It says, and the Lord said, who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one said on this manner, and another said on that manner. And also I was looking at those as the host of heaven is there. It says one on this manner, and another one on that manner. So there was two different type of manners or discussions going on concerning how to deal with Ahab.
Right.
And so when you see one on this manner and another one on that manner, and there came forth a spirit and stood before the Lord and said, I will persuade him. And so they're having a discussion. We're either gonna do this or not gonna do this. And then one of them came out and said, I'm gonna do that. And then it says a lying spirit afterward.
Good point, my brother. God bless you. I love this. This is why we were having. Remember, we talked about this. We picking back up after we took a few months off. Is because these are the types of lessons that deal with us understanding our everyday walk, how we got to make decisions. Brother Frias said different way. And why does the Lord let the host of heaven come up? He already know what he's going to do. He already knows what's going to happen. He already knows what they're going to say. The Lord does that with all of us. He talks to Jonah personally and says, is it right that you should want me to destroy all these people in this cow? He already knows what Jonah's going to say. Why is that? Because it's about Jonah. The host of heaven come down. They don't even know who Jacob is. He wrestles with him. He has not been told who that angel does not know who Jacob is. He walks by him and Jacob knows, I know you're an angel. Give me my blessing. And he tells him, what's your name? Because he's never had a human being be able to stop him like that. How do you know? Because no angel have one human being. He wrestled with him all night. That's why he said, what's your name? He said, what's your name, man? I'm going to change it. It's going to be Israel. So he's coming with a mission to change his name, or he didn't know that was him, But he showed it. No, they ain't gonna ask somebody what's your name. If you don't know it, I'm gonna change your name. We have to understand. Jacob knows, oh man, I know you. When Abraham sees angels, he sees skin. He knows. Get the food ready. Abraham knows these are people from God here. This is not just get some food ready. And he starts to talk to them. And he calls them Lord. Because he knows the Lord is far from you. He's taught. See, we forget the context. That's why it was a good lesson here. The context. There are guys there, and he's calling them Lord because the angel always represents Lord. And then you can see the conversation pick up, and it's just like the Lord is talking back and forth to the man. So the idea, that's why people would say, it's a great thing. I've seen this angel, like the angel talking to Manoah, and the different things. The key is that the context can clearly draw for us and help us to understand the awesomeness of God and how if God is not with you in a plan, even if you go get a faithful saint to assist you that is fully righteous, walking upright, but has got involved with you and your plan is not God's desire. God knows that Ramoth Gilead is their property. But he is not ready to deliver to Ahab because of his evil way. He knows Syria don't have no right to that. But he doesn't want to work with Ahab in this battle. Not this one. He doesn't want Jehoshaphat work. So he's going to let them know, I'm going to shut everything down on everybody. I'm letting you know you're going to get destroyed. I'm going to let you know why they've been lying to you. Because the obligation to Ahab is to convince Jehoshaphat, I need to get in a battle with you. That's the whole scene. And Jehoshaphat is the only one calls for people to start talking. Then he calls for the truth teacher to come. But he's so weak. Like Brother Frias said, he buys into the bad history of Ahab and Micaiah and just assumes, it's just Micaiah popping off. And now guess what he does? Guess what he does? He discredits the man of God. And what do we say? Obey them now to rule over you. See, Micaiah has a rule over Jehoshaphat because he is a spokesman for God. And what is our rule? The word of God. And what do the leaders that it talks about in Hebrews 13 rule with? This book. So that's why you obey the rule. So Micaiah is speaking truth. Telling him, he doesn't never say Jehoshaphat don't get involved with. He tells him what's going to happen, and Jehoshaphat still gets involved with him. So we'll deal with it a little bit more. But the end result is that I want to share with you at the end is Ahab. Obviously, he's going to get killed, as we know the scriptures teach. He's going to get destroyed, as God proclaimed, even with the help of a righteous man, even with the help of a righteous army that God loves dearly. He still slays him because why? He is not with him. Your plan can be ironclad. It can be something you should be doing. Can be something rightfully yours. And even though you're not walking right with God, and you got a bunch of liars on your team, and you'll get the righteous and try to convince the righteous to get involved with you based on the liars, you will fall, just like God said. And he's going to spare Jehoshaphat, because the prophet's going to tell him, not in Kings, but in Chronicles, God has found something good in you. That's the only reason you didn't die trying to sneak back in Israel. But now he didn't go to that prophet and ask him, should I go over with Ahab? Because he already know his answer's going to be no. But once Ahab said, we going to fight, and it was getting real, is there any prophets around we can ask? See, because that's how saints get. When saints get themselves in mess, now they want to start calling on the righteous. But not to get out the mess, to see if we can make the mess work. That's what he's trying to do. See if I can make this square peg go in this round hole, Jehoshaphat, and we become one. What prophet can say we can do this? And he decides, I'm going to route with your people. Now remember, he already asked for a right guy. That's what Kyle's brought. And see, that's what we said in one of our analogies. Listen to what's being said. Ahab is telling them, these guys not right it is a right prophet that don't like me and I don't like him. He's not even listening. Saints, sometimes the Lord is telling you right in your face. The person that's crooked is telling you, don't go with me. They telling you. He's telling the man, don't go with me. And that's where we start off in the beginning. That's why saints fall. God is not going to let you just walk haphazardly innocent into oblivion and fall in hell. No. You can have plenty of warning signs, neon lights flashing, ticker tape parade, don't go here. But because it's something you want to do, for some reason he just wants to lock up with Ahab. He wants what? Peace. He wants to be the king that made peace with Israel. Why would I say? Because that's all he's going to get out of it is peace. That's all he's going to get. That's what the messenger asked Micaiah. Let it be peace. Brethren, you cannot have peace with fake believers in the church and true believers. You cannot have peace. When you get round holes except square pegs, you have peace. So God bless you. Good study. If you're here not a member of the church or you listen to the message, recognize. Don't get yourself in this position like Ahab. Let yourself get into it with his wicked wife and her prophets that had a false god. And Jehoshaphat almost got himself killed in this particular battle, getting involved with Ahab because it doesn't fit. Righteousness does not fit with unrighteousness. If you're here, you've got to accept Jesus, Son of God. If you're listening, you got a desire to be baptized. Once you desire in your heart to change based on your belief and the confession, Jesus, Son of God, and then you're baptized in water, have the sins removed. The scriptures tell us in Mark 16:16, he that believes and is baptized shall be saved. He that believes not shall be damned. When Peter preached in Acts 2, they asked, what shall we do? He said, repent and be baptized, every one of you, in the name of Jesus Christ, for the remission of sins, and you shall receive the gift of the Holy Ghost. The message always change me baptized. In Acts chapter 8, the eunuch see his water, what did hinder me to be baptized? He's talking about baptism. Philip says, with all your heart, if that's with all your heart you can confess Jesus, Son of God, you may. Peter says the same, 1 Peter 3:21 and 22. The like figure went to even baptism is also now save us. Not the putting away the filth of the flesh, but as the answer of a good conscience to our God by the resurrection of Jesus Christ, who's gone into heaven, angel authorities and powers being made subject unto him. Jesus said in Revelation 2:10, behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. You have tribulation 10 days. But be thou faithful unto death, you receive everlasting life. If you're here and need to be baptized, stay standing when we sit down. But if you're here and you need prayer, recognize the Lord can answer those prayers when we pray together. If you listen to this message and you need to be baptized, please touch the triangle. All the numbers will flow through the bottom to show you how to contact us, and we will find someone to baptize you who is in the faith of Jesus Christ. Whatever situation before you, come now, please. While together we stand and sing Heaven's Invitation. And tenderly Jesus is calling.
For you and for